Vera since she began. The way that you began was interesting because you introduced the topic and then you started to explain the rules. And I think that perhaps for all of us who have been in Toastmasters before, we already know the rules, but you should be a little bit clearer for those who are new to Toastmasters. Really set aside the rules so they know that you haven't moved on to, so that you have moved on to another topic. I think that would be very helpful. I also think that when you're the table topics master, you should learn the names in advance. People who are new, who are guests, have their names introduced. You should really know who you're going to call on and find out in advance who you're going to speak, so you don't have to say the lady in yellow. It's better. It looks more professional. And I would suggest one other thing, and that is for you to slow down a little bit. You tend to speak really fast. If you slow down and pace yourself a little better, it'll be clearer to the audience. So, Victor, Mr. Blah, blah, blah. You didn't have an opening, you didn't have a body, and you didn't have a conclusion. You just blah, blah, blah. You just talk. And it's like spontaneous. You have a switch, and it just goes on, and boom, boom, boom. You didn't pay any attention to our timer, who showed you the red card for quite a little while. And you mispronounced recipes. It's recipes. Okay. So, Anya, you were next. And I have to say that when you first started, you used a lot of crutch words. And it was a lot. And I noticed it so much that I counted it. You had 14 of them. But the thing that's interesting about it is that when you first started, and I think perhaps you were a little nervous, you used it a lot. And then you stopped, and you were very clear for a long time. Then you got back into it again. So I think when you get more confident, you get more comfortable, you don't use them so much, so the practice will help. The other thing that I would comment on is that you stood here, and you looked perhaps directly at Vera, and you ignored this entire side of our audience. When you're speaking, you want to speak to everybody. You want to give everybody a chance, and you want to have eye contact with all the people in the audience, not just this person. So that's some advice. Let's see. I think that the lady in yellow is next, yes? All right. So you have a pleasant smile. You had good eye contact when you were here. Your speech was just much too short. One of the things after you've been in Toastmasters for a while is that you learn to blah, blah, blah. So you learn to fill in the time and to try to talk more. So my only suggestion for you is to build a little confidence in yourself and try to, when you have a topic like this, use your imagination and play with it. This is really, the topic tonight was very playful. It gave you a lot of opportunities to play. It wasn't really a serious exercise. So just enjoy yourself. Our blonde lady, who I apologize that I didn't hear your name.
Oksana.
Okay, Oksana. You have good eye contact. You spoke really clearly with everybody. You were looking around in your audience, so that was very good. You had the bottle in your hand, sort of like this, and you had one hand here and one hand here. You switched to this side, then you switched back to this side, and then you held it like this. You can use gestures more. You can really try to extend the audience and get them to pay attention a little bit more using your gestures. You used a lot of ums, right? And when you're speaking here, it's better if you're not laughing too much. It makes it harder for the audience. They may enjoy the laughter. You let them laugh, but you yourself should be more serious. Encourage the laughter. A good comedian, if you'll notice, is almost never laughing. The audience is laughing, but the comedian is not. And Tanya, you were a little short. You know, when you first came and you stood here and you began to speak, I thought, oh, this girl has confidence. She knows how to handle herself. And I thought that you would have a really good speech. And you started off really good for a few seconds, and then you sort of ran out of gas. You just kind of stopped. So the thing is that if you continue to come to Toastmasters, allow your imagination to work and go with the topic and try to create something original. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that you have the ability to speak English well, and you have the ability to present yourself well in front of a group. It's just a matter for you of practice. I can tell that much from just a short amount of time. I had great expectations for your speech, and then you just stopped. So it was too short. So in the future, try to wait. Try to wait till the red card shows. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Toastmaster.